about the flank that I just didn't pay attention.
They're playing right now. You don't want to piss them off, you know? He's a serious guy when he's in game, you know? That's why he f***ing top frags every time. I can't just go there and tell him anything because he's gonna f***ing smack me, okay? So that's Citizen. We have Virtue here, which is not here. Virtue is very handsome, very handsome. He's a support player, fantastic. He used to sit here. He's like 3 meters tall, so probably like this, right? Prano. This guy went to the army. He does MMA. Like, look at
Oh, brother.
He's
Hey, brother.
Alema. This man. This man is G2. You know? This man is G2. He's G2. He's the perfect G2 ambassador. Doki.
Nice try.
He's very goofy. Scottish goofy. He's saying shit all the time. We love him for that. And nobody cares about chess, to be honest. Just nobody cares about chess.
Don't touch my Red Bulls. These are mine.
Let's go!
Here, yeah?
Yeah. Can you?
No, maybe more.
The lobby camp for you, Jake. And they don't have pixels on dining. You can maybe just.
I'll do it.
Doc, can you pick that?
On West Main says.
The move that we wanted to do is that we just needed like 3 great players that doing their job. And obviously we got kind of lucky with Doki, LML and Prano all wanting to leave their teams at the same time. And obviously we thought like we need a good flex player, LML, who's fitting perfectly, good entries, Doki, and a good IGL, and hopefully their skill will be worth it for them to move out into Germany.
And FAs, I mean, you're doing something right.
Yes.
But why don't we thermite breach above bar, which opens up the hatch, which not the hatch but the top wall, and then we flashbang through that and execute through murder with the slow blue push.
G2 is the Real Madrid in that regard. Players know that if they join G2, if their teammates are the problem, they will be replaced. If they are the problem, they will be replaced. So a good player will always strive to join G2 because they will know that at any cost, we will do anything it takes to win. They actually grow the most in just literally scripting, recording, post-production, everything, just to make sure these people build their brands and they become someone besides what they do in the game.
We're going to lose all our games because Doki doesn't know when to stop peaking because he's an absolute idiot in game. And Cole screams down his mic randomly, saying random words, and doesn't realise that he's actually not in Brazil, so he needs to speak English.
Guys, okay.
That's Swiss actually.
Rainbow Six is a game, and especially the pro scene, the meta changes all the time, and the types of players that succeeded at one point no longer succeed at some other point, and last season was a catastrophe.
And that's G2 1-6. Team Liquid will pick up their 5th win.
Malusi, and right now it's down to Alamo to finish off. I think that might.
The last season for G2 was pretty bad. A bit underwhelming. We should have performed a lot better at the major and 6 Invitational.
G2 not getting a single attack.
Even though we were not by any means, the worst team, we were not the best team, and that's what we always strive to be. So yeah, when looking back, we wouldn't change anything because there were a lot of lessons that we learned. And yeah, in 2022 we went crazy.
Before this transfer period, we were just having our eyes on Alamal and a couple of others, but when the roster opened and we saw Doki and Prano as well, it was a no-brainer. Well, it's just the dirt push, which is the issue, right?
You should bring flashes with you. I'm speaking to me. What are you saying? It's hard to find a good player as good as him, obviously, and a good support player. So, trying to bring in players that can play like him, it's impossible.
It was a very big task to replace that behavioural patterns to the team. So just kind of went and ran with it, and plans changed quite a lot over those 2 weeks. It's quite hectic.
I mean, even before we announced the roster, there was a lot of people talking about what the roster could be. There were a lot of rumors, and there were detectives, trying to figure out, he's wearing this sweatshirt. That means it was crazy,
The scene kind of saw it as like they were kids and it was a Christmas present they knew was coming because there was some leaks and some people had talked about it a while back. So they were kind of expecting it, but it's still when Christmas Day came, they seemed really, really excited. So
I think that there can be an issue with having 4 players that before have always had others playing support roles for them, and now they don't have that anymore. Now they have 4 people that have reputation of having quite an ego, but if they manage to control that, I think they're going to be just fine.
Yeah, so when the players come to G2, they are expected to be a certain way in terms of the way they come across, the way they communicate. I mean, I think that Alemão is a good example of someone we really, really like. Why? Because he speaks up his mind. The fact that he's a gamer, the fact that he plays games professionally, the fact that he doesn't have a perfect English, the fact that, is the pride in oneself that we need the players to be able to speak with, at least learn, and want to learn how to speak us.
So my name is Carl.
He's just doing everything he needs to at the minute as Harper is in a 1v2.
Watching. He's got impinged. Surely cannot get out of elbow. Oh, Alemão with the swing though. Thinking they just got it down in time. Alemão and Ness can go huge.
I choose G2 for the organization, for the team. It is also a great team, full of superstars. Citizen was a superstar on Navi, Doki as well, Jake on Fnatic, and Prano on Rogue and Secret. So he's a hell of a team, and I think that's why I chose G2.
Oh, they're both together, yes. Okay. Yeah.
Oh man.
What is that?
We have some sushi. That's not sushi. That's Shaz's meat.
It's tuna.
It's
Tuna.
It's tall.
mate. That's Megan.
Alemão's a good player. He's a great player. He's young as well, so he's got a lot of potential going in. And he's a great flex player. He's a good opportunity seeker, and that's what we need in this team.
I was the first Brazilian to move regions, to leave Latin and join another region. So it was really good for me, and I already have some European fans and some North American fans, because when I was playing on Paris SI, I was playing FPL all day, streaming. So I'm pretty happy that everyone is supporting me, and really I feel happy about it.
It also seems that he's quite intelligent when it comes to these fast adaptations. And I think that having a mix between LATAM, APAC, and Europe, when it comes to how to think about the game, can be a really, really strong perk for them, actually.
He has no filter, no off switch. He's so energetic. He's like a little kid in a big candy store. Doesn't know what to do. I think he's just excited to be here, excited to play for us, and he likes us. So obviously, I think that's why he's as hyper as he is now.
We're working here. Jeez. All right. See, we gotta go. Okay.
The reason why Alemão was really, really appealing was because of not just his mechanical skill on the server, but his perspective of the game and how he thinks the game should be played as well. And the fact that he's really vocal, he has been harped as the Brazilian Pengu, and I think that's true to a degree, and that's why he's really appealing, and it's really shown just in his 2 weeks that he's been here already.
We get smoking dirt, we just rotate
I don't think push dirt is,
No, we were running outside when we wanted to push. Like I said, we just not go for him at all. We should have just dropped, pushed to church, to blue, to church, like I said.
Come to Coffee too.
What?
You leave?
No.
Yeah, no, I'm just referring to the smoke round.
When you join G2, you're expected to do 2 things: win and entertain people. And I always say 50% of your job is in game, 50% of your job is outside the game.
Communication would be like different because we have like Australian, Brazilian, Scottish, and one German and one from London.
Oh, cold mate.
Yeah, warm, man.
Cuddle a bit, cuddle a bit.
Ooh, ooh, deeper.
Individual talent is through the roof with them. And I think that if they can just make that into a team ability too, then they're going to be a really good team.
When you have like team inception, it's probably the most critical time because some people don't know each other before each other, so it's good to just get to ground zero, understand what everyone's expectations are of each other and just getting the body language going, because there's nothing worse than turning up to a LAN and then having to learn who your teammates are then in person as opposed to doing it beforehand. So.
I think the bootcamp is good at this time because it's the first time meeting like Prano for me and Cole like properly and having to like stay with them. Obviously I've been with Doki before and Virtue and I've lived with him, so it's no problem with them. But I think it's good to meet people before we go back home, and obviously like now we know how each other are and what we are in real life, so hopefully it'll be better in game to understand what they're like.
What do you mean it's not fair?
Ben, remember you are speed. You are speed.
I could say you're a semester. I was thinking it was actually.
Yeah, you're in the zone.
Yeah.
When you have a high-performing environment, they're typically really, really overly serious about everything. But G2 is the only place I have found that, like, it doesn't matter. It's not even just playing in game, but the graphic designers, the account, anything. The body of work speaks for us. You know?
We respect each other's skill and caliber on the server, but it's not just that. That's where it started, but they're just starting to get along with each other. You've got Jake and Kevin, who are a lot more relaxed and a lot more mature, and then you've got like the kids running around with Ben being a little bit more reserved.
Prano is my roommate. We share apartment, so he's really close to me. And Doki's the funniest of the group.
No, it's been answered already.
What?
Yeah, it's been answered.
But yeah, everyone is really close to each other. Like Virtue and Ben are being like friendly with us, the new teammates. So yeah, it's been great.
Sleep. His palms are sweaty. Next week, arms are heavy. There's something on the sweaty already. Mom, spaghetti, he's nervous.
You're gonna see it again.
Yeah, true.
Are you playing Pewds?
I'm banned again.
We have fun all the time. We around, we are self-deprecating, we roast everybody else, we roast ourselves, we just have fun, you know? Because at the end of the day, it's a job, it's a video game, it's a, you know, you shouldn't take it too serious.
Personally, I don't really care where we place in the first 3 months, but realistically, we should be getting top 4 within the league, and we should be qualifying for the major. And then past that, we'll just assess it as it goes, and it will just get tighter and tighter and tighter where the expectations for my expectations for the team will be.
I think a few teams that would be hard for us is I think Vitality. They're a bit crazy. They play like APAC teams. They're just unpredictable. And then obviously BDS. They're like the EU, they're always top of EU, like every stage. So I think those teams will only be the hard teams for us.
I don't think much will change, honestly. Just a lot more work to be put in and just tie up the gel, you know, we are a new team. If they go well, then I feel like we'll have a nice momentum.
No, don't bump it. I don't give a fuck.
I'll just come over and I'll really like. Can I play Melusi? Can I play Melusi, boys? Can I play Melusi? Can I pump it, guys?
Welcome back, friends, to EU League. It's time for our match of the day. G2 Esports going up against Rogue.
I just remind you of Skyscraper on the catching Geisha.
That's what I thought.
We just have 5 world-class players, and each and every one is the best in their role and at what they do. And with the right team chemistry and the right team play, we'll beat everybody. That's Alibi Prisma on Armando.
Very well so far. It's all up to Rip, shut down by Citizen. Big round from him, big round from G2, and they take their first win of 2022.
Teams are too good these days to allow themselves to be smacked around that way.
Also gets down by Elamau, playing from this position. He's on low HP. No Swan is in, finds it as well. It's a triple kill for him, going for the quad.
Last next right, shotgun it. Nice. Oh, wait.
They get a 6-4 to 6 points in total here for G2 in the league, and they'll be more than happy with that. Yeah.
It would be fun to win this first major. Like everyone will fear us. Like, whoa, they already won a major with only 2-month team. So I think that our next objective is qualify for the major and then win the major.
We have good guys here. We're all good friends and we are working hard every day. So I'm really confident. I don't care that other teams have an advantage. I'm just ready to go.
Wow! Smash left in a 1 versus 3. The rest of the work done by the rest of G2 made sure they had the catch. The diffuser going cold might be picked up by these ADS. Still the player on Attic is going to be absolutely crucial here. G2, what are you going to do? And, well, apparently not enter that way. FMX gets it. The player on the second story goes for a push. Milon is able to retake the stairs, finds one, looks for the second. They have to fight themselves into sight, but it's all locked out. And Outsiders are steadily making more of a statement. G2 take their first knock, but it was almost all the way. So lessons to be learned on still what is also a fresh roster. Talking of fresh.
But when you put together a super team, there's a lot of expectations, you know, and community pressure can get into players' heads, and we have to be very strong mentally and say, look, this is the team we literally thought was the best team possible, and we shouldn't crumble to that pressure, you know. If we start 0-3, so be it, you know. Eventually we'll get back, eventually it'll click, and eventually we'll just kick everybody's ass.